Hello and thank you for tuning in. My name is Sushant and today we are going to continue on our series on certificates with focus on the Mitel MiVoice Connect Edge Gateway and the Mobility Appliance. At the end of this presentation, you would have learned about certificate requirements for the Mitel MiVoice Connect Edge Gateway. You would have learned how to install the certificates on the Edge Gateway appliance. You would have learned about certificate requirements for the Mitel Mivoice Connect Mobility Appliance. You would learn how to install the SSL certificates for the MiVoice Connect Mobility Appliance. And lastly, we'll cover some of the best practices for certificate imports. The Mitel Mivoice Connect Edge Gateway solution uses the following certificates to secure communications between the Edge Gateway and the devices running on the Mitel Mivoice Connect system. We have the Edge Gateway certificate. This is the certificate used to access the admin portal of the Mitel MiVoice Connect Edge Gateway. We have the RAS certificates, the Remote Access Secure Tunnel. These are the certificates used to authenticate the secured connection between remote IP phones, like the IP400 series, and the Edge Gateway. We have the Reverse Proxy certificate. These are the certificates used to securely access the Mitel services via reverse proxy. This is used generally by the Connect clients from remote. And lastly is the Turn certificate. These are the certificates used to secure the use of the Turn service, which is used by soft phones for audio from the Mitel Connect Edge Gateway. Here we will import a third-party certificate that has been provided to us into the MiVoice Edge Gateway appliance. We can see here that the certificate format that has been provided to us is the PEM format. It's a .crt. What we have here is the X.509 certificate. We've got the RSA private key. And then we've got the certificate chain bundle that was included from the certificate authority. We now need to open these files in a text editor, preferably Notepad++. And as we now see in Notepad++, we have the three files side by side that will be able to cut and paste into our appliance. So what we see here is the admin portal for the Mitel MiVoice Edge Gateway appliance. We have logged into the appliance with the admin credentials, and we are at Config, System, Certificates tab, where the certificate import needs to happen. As we can see in our example, we have a wildcard certificate, and the wildcard certificate needs to be imported in each of these tabs on the Edge Gateway appliance. If we click on Import, we then get the three spaces for the main certificate, the RSA private key, and the intermediate certificate. Then we can cut and paste from the Notepad files that we have opened up. So we have the main certificate here. I'll do a Control A, copy, paste, go back to the private key, Control A, copy, paste, and finally the bundle that is provided by the authorities. We do a Control A, copy, paste, and we do a quick import. What this will do is it will start and restart the services. A restart will be required. Click OK. Please note that once the system restarts, you need to log in again and then start the same exact process for the other three tabs. After a successful restart of the appliance after importing the first certificate, we have now logged back in. We look at the certificate, we verify the expiration date of the certificate, and then we can click on the verify button at the bottom here, and you get a successful verification message here. At that point, you're ready to import the same exact certificate at the other three tabs, and this will complete the certification import process for the Edge Gateway appliance. The MiVoice Connect Mobility Router appliance uses a certificate authority to sign certificates generated by the appliance. The Mitel Connect Mobility Router generates and signs a client certificate for every client that is provisioned. The Mobility Router appliance can also generate and sign Mitel Connect Mobility Router certificates if you choose to use a generated certificate instead of imported ones. You must either generate or import a certificate authority because there's no pre-installed factory default. Without a generated or imported CA, users cannot be provisioned, and Mitel Connect Mobility Router certificates cannot be generated. Here we are looking at the admin portal for the Mitel Mivoice Mobility Appliance. We're logged in as an administrator. We're looking at the Configuration tab under System, Certificates, Certificate Authority. We see the default information that comes out of the box, in which case we could hit the Import button. And at this point of time, do the same cut and paste that we have done from the original Notepad file. Again, the order is the certificate, the RSA private key, and the bundle. So we do copy and paste them in that order. So main certificate, then the private key, and finally the bundle. And you hit the import button. It basically invalidates the provisioning status of existing client applications. So you don't need to do this before anybody else is provisioned into the system. And a restart is required. After the appliance has successfully restarted, we have logged back into it as an administrator, and we verify under the certificate authority. We have the certificate now imported correctly. We see the expiration date. We can click on the verification button, and we make sure that we get a verification completed successfully message. We then have that same certificate uploaded under the local access and the remote access tabs. So going to first to the local access, we click on the import. Again, same process, the main certificate first, then comes the RSA private key right underneath it, and finally it is followed by the bundle. Once again, from our notepad, we'll go in the main certificate, private key, finally the bundle, and then the import button. Again, the services would be restarted. Click OK at this point for the services to restart and log back in again. After a successful restart with the local access certificate imported, you can then go over to the remote access, do the same process one more time. Again, same cut and paste. You cut and paste the main certificate first, then followed by the RSA private key, followed by the certificate bundle. Click import, restart the machine, and at that point of time, the mobility router has the certificates all imported and ready to go. So we logged in again after a final restart of the mobility appliance after the remote access certificate was imported. We go back into the configuration, we go back into the certificate, look at the local access, verify the expiration date of the certificate, click on verify, get a completed successfully message. Same thing with remote access. Again, verify the expiration date, click on verify. Make sure that you get a successful verification of the certificate you just imported. And that should be the process for importing a third-party SSL certificate into the mobility router. So in summary, the MiVoice Connect Edge Gateway and Mobility Appliance creates its own self-signed certificates which are used if no other SSL certificates are installed. Each of the Edge Gateway components requires its own certificate. An imported certificate must be in the unencrypted PEM format and contain the X.509 certificate and the RSA key. And finally, the following order needs to be followed for import of the certificate on the mobility appliance. You need to have the SSL main certificate first, followed by the private key, followed by any certificate chain or bundle that may be included from the certificate authority. With that, we conclude our presentation for the certificates for the Mitel Mivoice Edge Gateway and the mobility appliance. Thank you.